Zang. It's like, it's not as zoomed in before I press record, but when I press record, it smacks in. Wash my hair. Don't mind the shrinkage. It'll get bigger as days go on. But it is February 21st, Saturday. It is 4:06 p.m. So I basically decided I wanted to do more sit down chats with y'all. Won't be long. I just wanted to kind of touch base, I guess you could say. But one thing I definitely know I wanted to get on here and share with y'all is my last vlog I dropped with y'all. I feel like I was low-key convicted on my music playlist. I'm thinking about it, and all the songs weren't bad, but like, yeah, I've been convicted, strongly convicted about my music playlist lately. So over the past year, I want to say going on 2, I think it's just been a year. I think I've been aware of it for about 2 years maybe, when someone brought it to my attention, but I don't feel like I got convicted until like a year ago. But I've recently been strongly convicted. So what you listen to, I don't know if y'all ever noticed, but like, it's just like, one thing I am also intentional on is trying to stop cussing. One reason I realized that it's so hard for me to stop cussing is because the music I listen to, there's cuss words. Like, what you're listening to has a stronger impact on your life than you think, in little ways. And just with the tongue being powerful, I'm gonna pull it up. Okay, Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Yeah, it's just been hard because it's so many songs I just grew up with that I love so much. It's like eventually, like, I'll know and I'm like, eventually I'll get rid of the song, but not today. But like, no, today I have been, thankfully the Lord has given me that strength to remove them, even though they are songs that I loved. They're just, I can go, like, do you ever realize that it'll be a song that you love and you just forget about, and someone will remind you? Like, it's not a necessity for it to be on my playlist. I just know that when I add it, eventually I'll forget it. And then sometimes what I've caught myself, I'll like think about a song that I've already unadded to my playlist, and I'm like, dang, I unadded that song, but I'll still search it and I'll listen to it. But thankfully I have the strength that I only have to listen to it like once or twice, and I'm on to the next, back to my playlist. I'm not gonna re-add that song. I'm not gonna go on thinking of the next day like, oh, I gotta listen to it again. Thankfully, I know some people have their triggers and it's harder for others, and that's probably not even an area people feel convicted in. Everybody has different convictions. It's just people don't realize. That's why they say don't speak negativity over your life, speak blessings over your life. Even if the song is a good song, just really listen to what it's saying. It can be small stuff like an embarrassing an embarrassing admission for me, admission would be I listen to Big Time Rush sometimes, and there's a song called Paralyzed that I just love, and I still have that on my playlist, and I know I need to probably remove it, to be honest, and there's nothing wrong with that song. It's just that one line, and it's like, I try to speak, but girl, you got me tongue tied. Oh, that's my song. Then it's, I try to breathe, but I'm frozen inside. I try to move, but I'm stuck in my shoes. Then it's, you got me, the lyric is, you got me paralyzed, paralyzed, paralyzed. And then like, they continue to be like, I see you walking, but all you do is pass me by. I can probably just talk. I don't even have to sing these lyrics. And then the next line goes like, I see you walking, all you do is pass me by. I can't even talk, cause words don't come into my mind. Another song, well, like, it's just so cute because I'm a girl, and it's like, for someone to feel like that about me, that would be so cute. But I feel like that song promotes anxiety a little bit, and you should not have anxiety for your partner. I don't feel like you should. your partner that God sent to you to be your partner. Well, in a way, I don't believe God made a specific person for you, but I believe if it's in the glory of God, well, first of all, I believe everyone should just be friends, and that's the problem. I feel like everybody normalizes relationships, boyfriend, girlfriends, when they didn't even I don't know when that became a thing, but that's not how things used to be. Yeah, and the problem is that if you were friends, you most likely wouldn't be having all those feelings, because you really get to drop that full veil when you're friends. You really get to see somebody inside and out, like their worst moments ever. You see all that in a relationship, but it's like at that point you're in a relationship and you're like more invested. In a friendship, you really get to observe someone, know someone, and even know if you would ever want to be with them. So. And two, I don't ever want to be paralyzed. I don't care what it says. I don't care if it's metaphoric. Doesn't lie from the power of the tongue, and I never want to be paralyzed. That's why I say even the most innocent things. But yeah, I have definitely been convicted by the music I'm listening to. But I'm not gonna go back and delete the video, because that's where I'm a firm believer in. That's where I was then. This is where I am now. So I feel like a lot of people are like, let me get rid of that. I'm a new person, but. My life is a book. I pray someone can learn or be inspired by my decisions and see that I wasn't always perfect, but see my growth and transition. And I don't want to be seen as just a perfect person on this high pedestal all of a sudden by clearing off everything and just only posting like the most classiest and modesty, but like the most modest things. But yeah, that's just where I am. And so I decided to open up, and I've also been sick. I made some soup. I'm gonna drop that in my next vlog. And yeah, it just attacked me, and I just feel like it was crazy because I don't eat sugar, I don't drink, so like on occasion. And I just started the no eat sugar thing, like I want to say August or September of 2024. And so I was eating sugar for Valentine's Day. My sister gifted me with a basket. And yeah, I ate 3 pieces of that chocolate and my nose started to feel stuffy. So, but on top of that, so that was like probably, my sister gifted me that gift on Valentine's Day. Well, the day before Valentine's Day, on the 13th. On Valentine's Day, I went out for my friend's birthday. I already don't do lounges. And I already know that's the last lounge I'm gonna go to. Unless it's probably like a day lounge. But even then, I feel like nowhere that has hookah on the table, it's just not a scene for me. It was fun, but yes, I did it for her birthday. I am a huge birthday person. I feel like that is the only day that everyone you love should be acknowledging you. That's just how I feel. And it's just like, I feel like life is always life and people always have their own problems. And that's true, but I feel like your birthday is the one day that the people you love should, it doesn't have to be all day, but should dedicate some time, whether it's 10 minutes, to make you feel special. That's just my opinion, but some people probably feel like it's just another day and we shouldn't even be celebrating ourselves. So not everybody's gonna have the same opinion. Not everyone's gonna agree with you. That's why I pray to find my people that I know that they're gonna come, because in this isolation season, the Lord has already revealed to me so much and given me so much strength. Starting with, I think I talked, the last sit down video, I talked to y'all about, my old best friend, and I was like how I played that small part in her life. And last night we were talking about that, and that was crazy, because she brings up how she was like, it's crazy that if you hadn't told me to text him for his birthday, we wouldn't be married today. And I'm like, girl, stop saying that. I played a small part in a bigger plan. God uses what he can use to fulfill his plan, and I was just so happened to be that person. So I was like, even if you hadn't texted you, I know for a fact he would have texted you. I mean, even if you hadn't texted him, I know for a fact he would have texted you. And it's just, or something else would have happened where maybe y'all would have bumped into each other. I wish I would have said that, but I didn't say that part. But whatever. And so it's just crazy that how much peace I have. I used to be in a place where I was like, I missed her so much. And like, because best friends breakups are hard. Best friend breakups are harder than a regular breakup. I had to learn that the hard way. yeah, I don't think any best friend breakup had hurt like this one, because I had never had a best friend for that long. But I see why it had to happen, and I pray. I see that we both grown so much, and the fact that we can just text each other and share things that we know of each other, like, I'm just grateful for that, because I'm in a place where I felt like, because I looked up to her, and because it was kind of what do they call it? It was kind of attachment. I feel like I was so attached to her. I almost just didn't know who I was without her, because I kind of built my identity outside of my parents in the real world of who I was gonna be. I built my identity from what I always known. I built my identity with her. I know I keep on saying it, but it's like people don't really realize sometimes people haven't experienced the best friend like that. I know a lot of people who say they've never even had that close of a friend. So that was just a blessing I was able to experience. And we're still friends to this day, thank God, because it took a while to get here. And I feel like it took a lot of forgiveness. And I feel like when you both do the work, which I know we both have, the Lord will bring y'all back together eventually. Most likely not in that same way, because obviously we're two different people now. We're like, I live in a whole different city, and she's a wife and a mom now. I'm not, and I'll never be able to relate to her in those situations, but I can't say I'll never. So again, with the power of the song, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus Christ. But I know I can't do that right now. That's not my season right now. And not saying that people who don't have friends can be friends with kids, because I have friends that have kids, but we're in a season where it just makes sense. But life happens the way it happens, and the Lord definitely fulfilled some sort of his glory in that friendship, and I'm sure he can fulfill more, but I know that I wouldn't have grown to be who I am today without that friendship. So it's something I'll always be grateful for. And I would just say pray, honestly. If anybody who feels like they just went through a best friend breakup, and like, I can tell you right now, if that friendship was genuine, you're gonna be okay. It's eventually gonna work out. It hurts during the healing, and that happened in 2023. It is 2026, and that's the only reason why I even feel comfortable opening up about it. But it took 3 years for us to finally be okay, and we were okay in 2025 as well. But I finally feel no resentment on her end, no hesitancy on my end. Not saying that, because it was really more family drama. It wasn't really just like somebody stole her man. It wasn't like drama like that. But that's how you know the Lord was really working and doing things to even shift us, because it was something neither one of us could control, and we both had to just stick with our family, and that's just what it was. But also, I contribute a huge factor to my growth to my dad, because I do feel like if I had never lived with him, I would have never seen firsthand how much we were alike, and how if I didn't start changing my ways, I was gonna grow to be stuck in my ways. Stuck in your ways is a real thing, because the older you get without changing your ways, I feel like you just normalize them, and you sort of victimize yourself in a way, because all your ways are good, you know. And if you go to normalizing these not good ways, then you get stuck in your ways, and you don't necessarily see where you're wrong in certain areas. So because it's so normalized, this is how you've been living for forever. So that's what I started to realize, and I started to see as much as at the time as I would have loved, because I do, even though I'm a middle child, I struggle a little bit with eldest daughter syndrome, the challenges a little bit, which is where, in my eyes, I feel like I blamed my parents for more things than I should have been blaming them for. And when I moved in with him, I started to realize that he does the same thing. And yeah, we're 20 years apart. So he was like, at the time I was like 25 when I lived with him, or 24. So he was like 44, 45. And yeah, I was like 24 and he was 44. So yeah, I was like, but the thing about it is, he wouldn't want to talk about the past, as far as in when I would try to open up and be like, this hurt me or what, he would be like, I don't want to talk about the past. He did, but when we first reconnected after, I want to say like 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, like 5 or 6 years, we did go over the past, but only because we were forced to, and because I just wasn't letting him in to an extent, and he was kind of establishing steps like for us to go on a trip to see my sister at college, and I was just kind of like, I'm not going anywhere with him. So at that point we were kind of forced to open that can of worms. But because even though there was some resentment there, I knew how to move on and get along, you know, like, and just not hold that against him, and we would be okay. Even though we probably butted heads a few days earlier, we're in a new space today. So I would hear him out and get over it, and I would realize like, wow, he doesn't really like want to talk about things that his children did that hurt him, because obviously that hurts him and he doesn't want to deal with that emotion. That's how a lot of men can be. But I would be like, but he's quick to talk about his childhood trauma. So I'd be like, well, I have to change my ways, because he doesn't see that it's kind of backwards to be like, I don't want to hear about this, but on the other hand, I want to complain about this, you know? So that's what made me really see, like, if I don't change my ways, I'm going to be stuck in my ways. And I see a lot of growth on his end too. And I'm thankful for all the growth I have, because I feel like I rub off on my parents a little bit. I do. And I feel like I teach them a lot of healthier ways, because I feel like there's just so much toxicity in the town that we're from that is just normalized. But, and not saying like I learned new things from a new town, because I did move, but the Lord just opened me up to a different perspective, and I'm just so thankful. And they've always had a good relationship with the Lord as well, which is why I was able to, or why I am able to rub off on them a little bit. So that's why it just motivates me to continue to get stronger and to get deeper in my faith, because the deeper you get, the more the Lord reveals to you. I've also been convicted on the way I dress. I'm not gonna make this very long. I'm gonna just name a few more things. For the springtime, and like I just bought an outfit, and yeah, I really had to think hard before I even purchased anything, because I have been convicted on the way I dress. And I ordered like a little onesuit, a one piece, like a bodysuit, but it's sleeveless. And I feel like it's okay, because it's gonna be springtime and I'm covered up. Even though I will be showing some shoulder, to me, I don't feel convicted wearing it. Eventually that may change, who knows? But I'm happy. I'm just so thankful for the place that I'm in. So yes, I've been convicted on drinking. I've been convicted on drinking specifically because I was drinking a few days before. I think I explained that. I was drinking a few days before on Valentine's Day when I was with my friend. Oh yeah, I kind of got sidetracked and saying like I'm not going to go to lounges anymore. But I did have a mixed drink and I had a shot that night. And I got tipsy. And it's just like, for me, I've come to the revelation. I've come to the revelation that why does anyone drink? You drink because you kind of want to feel it, but you never really know your limits. I feel like when you feel it, I don't know. My opinion is if you're not drinking to get drunk, there's no point at all. And all the negatives that alcohol does do like the dehydration. I forget my memory. I've been trying to be in the gym, and when I drink, it is very hard for me to work out. I have to sweat all that out. It's just a lot of negatives for your health, aging. I don't know if this is true, but a guy told me that I met, he told me that J-Lo, the reason she credits the reason why she ages so well is because she's never drank. I'm sure that it has partial to do with genetics as well, but yeah, definitely it's just not worth it to me, and I'm just gonna give it up. I was that person being like, I'm still gonna drink on holidays sometimes with my cousins and whatnot, but I don't even think I'm gonna do that, to be honest. But I think that the drinking and the sugar combination, because I drank on Valentine's Day, then I got back to work like on the 17th. So Valentine's Day was the 14th, and I got back to work on the 17th, and I ate that sugar. And then as soon as I ate that sugar, I started feeling sick. So 2 things I eliminated from my diet that I consumed, and I immediately got sick. And it could have nothing to do with it because the flu season is going around. This is just how I feel. And even if the flu season going around, I feel like if I had never drank or eaten sugar, my immune system would have been slightly healthier and been able to attack it more. That's just how I feel. And so, yeah, the last thing I'm gonna ask is, the last thing I'm gonna add is asking for people's birthdays. I used to never really know about zodiac signs or none of that. I got introduced to them in 2019, my friend, and I didn't believe in them. What made me believe in them is because I started naming. I was like, what about Cancer? What about Virgo? What about Sagittarius? What about Leo? Those are all people in my household. My stepdad is a Cancer, my mom is a Virgo, my sister is a Sagittarius, and my little sister is a Leo. And I was asking her, and I was like, what about this? What about this? And she was like, Virgos. Your mom's probably mean, huh? Even with me, she was like, are you bossy? People have always told me I'm bossy. And with my stepdad, she was like, is he naive? Like, it was just little stuff, and I was just like, yes, yes, yes. So it made me believe in it. But regardless, we should identify as children of Christ. And I recently learned that zodiac signs were something that people used back in the day who didn't believe in God. And I feel like coming into agreement with Scorpio, Sag, and all that stuff, I feel like that's agreeing to what they created, saying that God isn't real. So that's why I have been convicted on that specifically. But I do still believe that people that are born by each other have very similar things in common. It's not a coincidence. The seasons restart over and over. So people are born during these times. It's not like time just goes and goes and goes and goes, and there's no type of sense to make it seem like how do they have anything in common, because time technically is not real. I still do believe that people that are born by each other do have things in common, but it could be like somebody born in September and somebody born in October. They'll probably have things in common. Y'all don't have to be the same sign. So I've gotten out of that to be like, when's your birthday? But yeah, that is one thing that I have been convicted on. If I do discover your birthday, I discover your birthday, and if it's close to mine, I'll be like, oh, that's why we have so much in common. Or if we're just really close and I need to know your birthday, of course I'm gonna ask. But for other reasons, to be like, oh, you're this, you're this, you're this, no, because that's literally how I would categorize people in my head. Like, they're Taurus, they're Aries, they're this. So I also want to add that a lot of people, even marriages, these relationships, the Lord lets us get married and have kids, and that's a revelation he just revealed to me, so we can just understand a tiny grasp of the love he has for us. The Lord loves us more than our parents, and the only reason why he allowed Jesus Christ for us to have that veil broken, for us to have redemption, is because he couldn't bear being apart from us for eternity. That's how much he loves us. So if you're not married, don't worry about it. Happily ever afters don't always look like marriage and kids. So I feel like being single is a calling, being married is a calling. So it's just, I'd rather be single and happy than married and miserable. You know, you don't want to just rush and be like, I want to be married, I want to be married. And then you get in that marriage and God isn't in the center. Like, maybe to you he's in the center, but maybe not to that man. Or maybe you thought he was, but that man isn't necessarily putting God first, or loving his wife as Jesus loved the church. So you want your husband to look at you genuinely like how Jesus looked at you. Like, you don't want it to be anxiety, or you don't want it to be like, I feel like anything, because something powerful I heard, anything that you have to keep on your own strength, you'll have to do that for the rest of your life. Let God do the work. You don't want that stress. Like, anything that you feel like you have to do, you're going to be doing that for the rest of your life. And also, any man that you have to chase, you'll be chasing him for the rest of your life. So let God do his thing. Let God do his work. Do your own work in yourself. And then the Lord will send your partner. Or maybe it's not your calling to have a partner. But by then, you'll have so much peace that you won't want one. To be honest. I don't believe we have partners in heaven. So, and if you think about it, and I feel like some people get freaked out about that, but as a kid, did you care about that? To be honest, like, I know as a kid, there would be people that would be cute, but I didn't care about having a boyfriend. I cared about meeting friends. I feel like as we enter the kingdom, we will remember our childlike ambitions and selves, and that stuff won't even matter to us. So, I did want to add that. Yeah, so my camera's gonna die soon. I gotta hurry up. But also, another thing is, like, going out. I don't have any interest in it. So you just get out, and when it warms up, of course. But being where I am, even though it's super cold and I'm anemic, is not so terrible, because I be needing my isolation season to get closer to God. I don't need to be being distracted by my flesh and fun, to be honest, because my fun has changed a lot since my isolation seasons, and I don't desire to go out. I feel like when it warms up, I am gonna just to be outside, but I just want to do more outdoor activities. I don't want to go out. And even when you go out, if you're approached, ladies, and someone asks you for your number, my advice is to say no, because I don't feel like that will be your partner that the Lord approves, or I don't feel like that'll be a relationship that the Lord will most likely bless. It may, if that is a man of God and he loves the church just as much as you do. But I feel like it is a red flag for someone to ask you for your number just off how you look, you know? Like, looks fade. And he doesn't know you, like, and it's a little shallow for someone. I know that it's like it's normalized, so it's kind of hard to say it's shallow, but if you really dig deep, you want someone to get to know you, or ask for your number, or ask for intentions to get to know you deeper because of what they know about you. It should be something about you that they like, not just how you look. Something like they should watch you for a while, maybe ask around, you know about so-and-so, like what they heard, something of the sorts. But just like an Instagram DM, or just can I have your number, you're out at an outing? No. The Lord is really like doing things in my life, and I just am happy. And I feel led to share it with everyone. So I pray that y'all just get in tune. And I can't say y'all get in tune because some of y'all are in tune. How rude, right? But I pray that some of y'all are. I pray that the Lord gives y'all the eyes as well. That's what I should say. I pray the Lord gives y'all the eyes as well to see what he is doing in your life. It doesn't always have to be financial. Blessings come in all shapes and forms, and I am severely blessed. Like, I've gotten everything I could ever ask for. I've never wanted much, never needed much. Even as a kid, I never really asked for too much, so I am abundantly blessed, and I just feel that I should be doing more in the kingdom, more kingdom work. And a good start is sharing the Lord's word and what he's doing in my life, and maybe that it'll connect the dots as far as what the Lord is doing in y'all's lives, and strengthen y'all's relationship with him, and give him thanks, you know, because that's all he wants. That's all anyone wants. You do something for someone, you just want them to kind of acknowledge it and for them to appreciate it. So, and I've realized that that's why he gives us these relationships, so we can understand how we would feel every time we feel sad or used or unappreciated. We should think like, you know, it should, like, that's probably how the Lord feels. And some people don't have the eyes to acknowledge. Some people just are more victimized in their head and just only see what is being done to them. But the Lord gives the people the eyes who He wants to give the eyes to. He gives the people eyes to see who want to see, even when they're fighting it. So if He doesn't give you the eyes, then, but yeah, I'm not even gonna, it's really hard for me to explain. I need to advance my vocabulary. They say when you don't have the words to say, you need to advance your vocabulary. And I have tried, and I have done a good job a little bit, but I definitely can discipline myself more. And so, yeah, that's all I really want to share with y'all. Yeah, I am thankful. I am blessed. Anything we can do to share the word, that's all our purpose is. I pray for my purpose a lot. It's my specific purpose. But everyone has the same purpose, which is love each other. You know, love each other. Like, I was gonna say like more, but I'm like, it's really love your neighbor. But it's the same thing. Love each other, share the word of God to others, and try to live by it, basically. So because we're humans, we can't be perfect, so I can't say live by it. I can't say live by it, but I know that we will stumble. So eventually, sometimes, but we can try our best not to. And that's what I'm doing. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Love y'all. And I'm pretty sure it's already the 22nd. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get that vlog out by the end of the month. So tune back in. I hope y'all are liking the sit down content because I'm feeling it. And I know this is different from the normal videos I do, but it's just a transition that I'm leaning towards. So thank you.